Hello and welcome to Easy Chat Live. I am going to just check that we are indeed live. Today's broadcast is very interesting to me because it just ties in, like the whole week, this week, the topic of the week seems to be money mindset, how to sell, buying patterns, in people, what is the psychology behind the purchasing decisions. So today's Easy Chat for me is very, very interesting, just up my street this week, and I want to know everything about this wonderful system. Let me introduce you to Dwayne Richards, all the way from Canada. Hi, Dwayne.
Hey, good afternoon.
How are you?
I am fantastic, and I'm glad that we had a second chance to do this. I had the pleasure of hosting you on my podcast a couple of weeks ago, and now I get to be on your show. So
that's right. Yes, it was a very, very lovely show. I'm just going to make sure that we have a loud voice, that you're not disappearing here. Now, Dwayne sent me, when we were doing our podcast, and it's great that you brought it up, because the way I found out about this wonderful system we're going to be talking today on the Easy Chat Live, Dwayne sent me this link to do a personality test. And you know what? You don't have to ask me twice to do a personality test, because I love psychology. I love how different we are and how our personalities affect our decisions in life, in business, and everywhere. I absolutely loved it, and it was a very, very simple system. It took me just a couple of minutes. There was just the 4 cards with some statements on them that I had to reorganize. But when I got the result, it was just so bang on. It was completely me. I actually made a whole big post on my Facebook wall, and it did very well. But it was exactly me. It just called me a fireball and everything that comes with it, So my fearless as a hashtag was just justified 100% by this description. And I was asking, and I asked Dwayne, what was it? How did you send it to me? How did you invite it? What are you doing? And then I found out that this is actually a system which Dwayne is certified in, and it's a system that can help you also, especially if you're working with as a coach with clients. It helps you profile your prospects and see which ones will fit you. That's how I understand it, isn't it? It fits what fits you, and how you can make them. You can close the sale and make them buy, not in a bad way, not in a manipulative way, but through understanding what way they perceive information, how their personality will respond to a certain offer. Did I get it?
You did. Yeah, you're fantastic. You're ready to go without even any further training. You can just jump right in.
Okay, well then, what I want from you then is to tell us the overview and then the details. So how does it work? I find it fascinating, so I'm really looking forward to it.
I'll give you a little bit of insight as to the background of it, because though we're trained in it, it's not our program. So the founder of the company, her name is Sherry Tree. So it's like Cherry Tree, but it's Sherry Tree. And 20 years in the sales industry, network marketing, direct sales. And like everyone, she was super successful in her first year. She closed $700 in her first year.
It sounds like my first year.
But literally by year 5, she was doing 7 figures. And what she did is she just learned, and she stumbled and she stubbed her toe along the way, but she documented what she did right and what didn't go so well. And it became, along with a lot of personal development, other courses, and then she just documented, and this is where she came up with the different values or the different traits of and she packaged it fantastically as a logical person. It resonates with me. And so she called it B.A.N.K code, so B.A.N.K, bank code, and about taking it to the bank, closing sales, make more money. But B.A.N.K, the B, the A, the N, and the K is just one of the 24 combinations. It's just one that spells the it spells a nice word.
Oh, right. Okay. So it makes sense now, because I was wondering what is behind it. So it's not an abbreviation of the system name. It's just like we have these combinations of personalities. I never even looked up at the results of mine, what was my combination. But go on. I'm interested.
Yeah. So then it really goes back to a long time ago. There's been the different personality assessments. There's Myers-Briggs, there's DISC, there's dogs and cats, there's whales and dolphins. There's 200 of them.
Yes.
And she just packaged it really nicely. And there's colors, so each card has a color. So there's yellow, there's red, there's blue, there's green. But it's different than colors, but there's an association with the colors.
That's right, yeah.
And then what she found was that so you as a high action person, as that firecracker, that fearless person, you do really well with other action people.
That's true.
But sometimes you miss out on the other 3 personality types. So right now you're closing, as an example, right now you close 1 of every 4, or you close about 25%.
Okay. That's not a good figure. Guys, we're going to change it by the end of the show. I want 100%. Yeah. Tell me.
But actually what we say is we actually increase your sales by 300%.
Okay.
Right now you're getting 1 of every 4. But if we teach you what the blueprint people like, so you do well with the action people, the high energy, close them, done, but you're missing out on the blueprint people, the nurturers, and the knowledge. So the blueprint people, as a quick example, blueprint people love money-back guarantees, zero risk, certainty, proven systems, the step-by-step how to do it.
Okay.
So when you're packaging it, and they don't like the hype. They're like, if you have to hype it so much, why? Like, what's wrong with it?
That's so true. I actually know even people in my group. I just know they fit that description.
And they're very punctual. So I was almost not blueprint, where I'm like at 1 o'clock. If I was a high blueprint, I would have been ready at like 1:45.
Oh, right. Okay. That's so interesting because, some of the things, and I know I was a red, wasn't it? What was the name of that profile? Yeah. But I also like step by step, and I also am ready on time and things like that. So we have the combination of things.
The combination.
Right.
And then what we say is order matters. So it's to say your action, nurturing, blueprint, knowledge, to say what the order matters, because it's really it's the first and the fourth in some cases, because you want to know what your strength, what your first one is, as well as maybe what your weakness is. So if it's knowledge, it's not that you're not knowledgeable, but you're not driven by analytics and high research. You just say, okay, this is my program, I'll be an expert in it, but I'm not going to research everything that I have other people that do that for me. I have friends that, I just call and say, what's the latest, greatest thing to do? And they tell you, hey, this is the light that you should buy for this is why it was funny, because when we did our interview, we talked about the lighting. You're not going to research a lot of lighting, but okay, this is the light that works. You buy it and you're done. Now, the nurturers are interesting because the nurturers it's yellow. So it's sunshine and rainbows, but they're the people that have fantastic networks, like a lot of friends. They're of service. Sometimes they struggle with charging because they want to help so many people that they struggle actually charging or asking for the sale.
Okay, interesting, yes.
So if you're at an event, they come to the event and they network all the time. They're the first ones there, the last ones to leave, but they forgot to bring something to sell.
That's right, okay.
I'm
likely seeing things like, how am I just one type? I see all of this in me.
Most people are, you're not a psychopath, so you're a combination of all 4.
Yes.
And then the knowledge people are, so the knowledge are like the people that get the PhD for the love of learning. They are the continual learners. They're the people that do lots of personal development. They take the next course. They're the guys that go and do Jeff Walker's program. They're the guys that do Frank Kern's program. And they'll do multiple programs. The problem is sometimes they don't implement.
That's right, yes.
Because they don't have a high enough their action, they're risk taking, so they take the training, but they don't take the next step to actually implement and get to selling because they're wanting to master it.
So you're suggesting those are the ones to target?
The action and the knowledge kind of like they're the furthest away from each other because you scare them and they scare you.
Oh, I see.
because they're the smartest person in the room, and you're the center of attention.
Oh my God, it's like me and my husband. Okay, interesting. I need to know how. This can help me on so many more levels.
It was developed as a sales tool, but it's more than a sales tool. It is a communications tool.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's where the magic is, actually.
It is where the magic is, as well as it works with. It can work for dating. It can work for understanding your children. It can understand business partners. It also works fantastic inside of a corporation, understanding the roles. It can be a recruiting tool because I'm not going to put a high action person like yourself into accounting. As an accountant, you wouldn't make a very good accountant because you'd be fantastic. And it's a combination of the action and the nurturing to be, not to downsize, but as a receptionist, like as a person who's meeting the clients, because the person who's like the face of the business. The nurturer is in customer service because the nurturer wants to listen. You need them to listen to the customer when they call in. The knowledge person is more logistics. It's the person behind the scenes to make sure that product gets out the door on time. Yeah, so it's really, so that's what I got introduced to it about 4 years ago at a personal development conference, and that's as an analytical thinker, it was so logical to me.
Wow, interesting. So what color are you then?
Well, let's test your skills. What color do you think I am?
That's why I'm asking, because I'm dyslexic, so I got mixed up with the colors while you were talking.
So I'll help you out. So my first one is actually knowledge. So lots of people get confused because they say, hey, you're doing lots of things. You're on Facebook, so you must be a high action. High action is actually my least, my lowest. So mine is first green, which is knowledge, then nurturing, then blueprint, and then action. But they're all quite high. So we actually do a scoring system. So in the first level of the course, the courses that we do, people actually do a questionnaire to figure out what's your individual score to say, how action are you? Like, are you like jumping off the building and building the parachute on the way down? That action? Or are you just kind of your action, but you're more balanced? So, and you can change, you can adapt, but you still go back to your baseline.
That's true. Yeah, I think it's very important to understand your personality. That's why I was so fascinated with this test or a lot of tests that I do, because they do help you understand why you're doing what you're doing and how you're doing what you're doing. So even if you're not recruiting somebody, even if just to understand how you can take advantage of your strengths, adapt your weaknesses to make them a little bit better, to work for you as opposed to against you. This is a great analogy as well, jumping off the roof and building a parachute. That's how I tend to start my businesses and all that.
But then you have fun doing it because it is about fun. And we talk about different things. So for example, boxes. So the blue person is the engineer. So they built the box. The action person's outside. Actually, sorry, the knowledge person builds the box. The action person is outside the box. The nurturer is recycling the box. And the blueprint person is inside the box. Because the blueprint person is the rule follower. So they're the timekeeper. They're the ones that make sure that you're following the rules. The action person's like, yeah, rules were made to be broken.
That's right. Just a suggestion.
At least a little.
Just a suggestion. It's like driving in Rome.
Yeah, there's like a speed limit, but also my car has a red line, and that's why the card is red, because hey, your car has a red line, and that just means that's the suggested how many RPMs it should be run at.
Yes, that's right.
But it's fascinating. And then the other piece is actually we get into, there's a course around scripting, which then says if I'm doing like email marketing, I need to actually write the script differently for the 4 different personalities, or at least treat the action and knowledge people, which are the people, to write script for them, and then the knowledge and the blueprint people, which are more the task people, to write copy associated to them, and then you would actually get improved open rates on your email.
So interesting. So what this basically suggests to me is that you need to get everyone who gets onto your list to go through a personality test, which then you will separate them into A and B and C, and then you send them different emails, and that's how you improve the ratio of your closed sales. This is very interesting. It's a lot of hard work, isn't it? I need a knowledge person to come and do it for me.
Yeah, but that's why we said that's why you hire. So that's why you actually train so if there's people, like if there's marketing specialists out there, we said this is your secret weapon, because your counterparts, your competition in marketing aren't using this. They're taking yet another course on how to script, but it's not about writing. It's like identifying, well, who's going to be reading it, who's going to be opening it. So for an action person like yourself, I'm not going to send a lengthy email. I'm not going to send anything below the fold. I mean, you're not going to write any content. I may just send a 20-second video, because you're like, I'll just click on the video.
I was just going to say, you know what? If I buy any online programs, and people who I bought programs from, they know it's the video. It's this excitement, and I'm like, oh my God, I love you. I need to have everything. I need to know everything just because I love you so much. And it just goes all through emotions. Now, by saying that, it doesn't mean that I don't need what they are offering, or, there's always a vibrational match, but it's so true, the only emails that I consistently opened were from a fellow organic marketer, B.A.N.K, who really had real personal, emotional emails, and I remember that those are the ones that I actually opened every single day, and I read them, and and he would be someone who I felt like he just gets it, but.
And that's the combination of the action plus the nurturing. I can sell on you on based on emotion, but if I'm selling if you're a high blueprint or knowledge, no emotion, just the facts.
No, that's my husband. We're like
details. Give me the details. Yes. Give me the history, the track record, what have you done for it. Could also be testimonials, because then they say, well, which is a little bit of a blend, but then showing me what you've done for other people, as opposed to just telling me how great you are. I want someone else to tell me that you were successful, like that they were successful taking your program.
That's right. Yes, I know, because the way you're talking. So if somebody says to me, okay, so who got some sort of results from your program, and I'm thinking results are from implementation. It's not from the program. It's from I'll tell you what to do. You go implement it, then you get results. So of course there's some people, and then I have to think, okay, so I have these people who took the course, they loved it, but they never implemented it, but they loved the course, they said they learned a lot, and then I have other ones who did, so when
that's where you want to go back and then get those for a certain segment. That's where you want to go back and actually get the testimonials, because you're right. Lots of people take your program and you don't know what they're doing with it. Like, they could just want to share a message and not necessarily make money with it. Other people want to use your program to drive business. And those are the guys that you want to go back and just get either like a video testimonial, a written testimonial, just something, and to capture that 25%,
yeah,
that whatever that want to say, that's fantastic that you have this great program, Juliette, but show me the results.
Show me the money. Exactly. Yes, exactly. And yet the results depend on somebody who's taking the program, unless it's coaching and then I'm there all the time. That's a completely different story. Okay, well that's very interesting. So we have the 4 personalities, and where do we take it? Like, how do we learn about this? Where do we go to learn about this?
All right, that's a fantastic question. The good thing is that it used to be all in-person training. And then the founder of the company said, that's fantastic, but she has a bigger mission to get it out to more people. And though there are a number of trainers, it's that first engagement to get people to taste it. So, like we said, a lot of it is that first step is the online assessment, which is the first level, what you did, which was we can share the link with listeners or viewers today. And that's the first step where they go and just figure out, okay, what is my bank code? And then we actually have, it's all web, it's fantastic, it's all remote, like it's all online. The first level of the courses there's a virtual training academy where people can actually do a good chunk of the initial learning all online. So it doesn't matter where they are. If they're in Spain or in Canada, if they're in the US, they can do it all online. Virtual training, where the founder of the company's gone in, she went into the studio. So you actually get the message from her, all video recorded, very professional, and you get it right from the source, but you don't have to sit in a classroom for 3 days. You can just...
That's actually my next question. So how long is the training? How long does it take to master this? Or at least to get all the information?
Master. So there's a significant. So for example, myself and my business partner, we became certified trainers. So we spent about equivalent of almost 10 full days.
That's not too bad. I was expecting like 2 years.
Well, that's 4 years of like just applying it every day.
Yes. Yeah.
Now there's. So what we end up doing is like at the entry level in the live training, they have a program called Fundamentals, and it runs about it's a 5 hour, like a 1 day workshop live. We do another one called, so that's the Fundamentals, where they just learn about the 4 basic personality types. The second one is then called speed coding, which is like speed dating. But that's where we actually show people how, if I go into your Facebook profile, into your LinkedIn profile, into any of your social media profiles, without even meeting you, I can actually start to break down what your personality type is based on what you've done online.
Cool. So basically what you're saying, for example, I'm an organic marketing strategist. So all my clients are people who are on Facebook. Well, at the moment I specialize in Facebook. So you're saying to me, if I mastered this system, and I can go to their personal profiles and figure out just by what they're posting, what pictures they have, what is there, what they share, what their personality is. So I don't have to send them that test. Is that what you're saying?
No, you still want to send them the test because everyone always does it because it's about them.
Oh yes, no, yeah, but like before they even get to the stage where you're sending them a test, you can see how to communicate basically to this person to get them to send them a test and then to book a call with you and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. And for example, some like high knowledge, high blueprint people, they're not even on Facebook.
That is so true. That is so true.
But
then they're not then they wouldn't apply to this particular, to my business, for example.
Yeah, there are a segment that are on Facebook, but a lot of them, like I have colleagues who just, I'm not on Facebook. That's not where I don't do business on Facebook. They're missing out for their business, but they're not on Facebook.
Well, it is actually true. My husband is not on Facebook professionally at all. He is on Facebook. He follows some informational sites, but he does absolutely no Facebook networking for business, which I think that it may be a wrong thing to do because he's a music producer and there's a lot of music producers on Facebook, But that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's very interesting.
So then if you're in business, if you're working with, so if I'm doing Facebook marketing for businesses, like for local businesses, then I'm going to also, if I'm out at a networking event, then I'm going to meet them, and I may have a different product. So I may have, say, an online training program that they can take, which I can then introduce them by email, to then start to share with them the importance of Facebook and how Facebook can be safe and can be used as a marketing tool, to slowly move them away from conspiracy theorists to understand that there's a valuable segment of their local market that they're missing by not being on Facebook.
Right. Okay. And another question I have, would you say that, let's say I have a lead magnet and I am attracting people, so that's working kind of on the automation. I'm not actively present there. Would you say that it's a good idea to actually have, let's say, 3 lead magnets on Facebook, and each one of them is designed and written for that personality type, that would actually create much more flow? Would that work?
So the idea would be like to run structure 3 different ads, because for example, the action person, like you could, it's all the flash. So like, red Lamborghini, drive it, pretty, red people, action people, gorgeous people, like other attractive people. It's like the red carpet. So there's reasons why it's red action, because it's people like red carpet, like VIP. So then you say, hey, this is my VIP program. It's just for VIPs. Whether it is or not, you'd label it, you'd have a VIP product because people are willing to pay a premium for special treatment. It's your one-on-one.
That's completely not me. That's probably one little part of me that's not that, at all. Like, I wouldn't buy a program just because it says a VIP program. I don't care about, flashy cars. I am not positioning myself high enough. I don't do things for the show.
But for you could create like a VIP for you in your package. You could create a VIP experience for your clients, and that's where they pay the $10,000 to go to. So these are the guys that pay to go to Russell Branson's program. These are the guys that are in Frank Kern's inner circle. Like, so what happens is some people say, I don't want that market, but they're like, man, but you're giving up like some serious dollars because these are the guys that are willing to pay for results.
So all your basic, but at the end of the day, we know that it doesn't matter if you pay $10,000 or you pay $100. If you implement this, it will work. And not always in a $10,000 program, you will be held by the hand as much to implement it. You can just throw money away. I know those stories. That's so true.
We understand that, and now you understand from the logic. But there's people out there that are willing to pay just to be able to say, I have a client who paid the money to go to the island with Sir Richard Branson.
Oh, I know somebody as well who did that. They
paid the money, but it's great for in the direct sales business. He has pictures of him on the island with Sir Richard Branson, and they're like, wow, he's your mentor? Yeah, he's my mentor. Better yet, he's my client. So he's not even my mentor, he's my client. I help him with his podcast. And they're like, so I reverse market it. So I'm like, so he's hey, I'm your mentor. I'm coaching these people. Look at me. I'm getting coached by Richard Branson. And then I'm like, yeah, that's one of my clients. I helped him launch his podcast.
Ah, very good. So this showing off. You see that? Like, this is something that I don't do enough. I have so much proof, and I just don't do it.
But I do it as a nurturer, as a high nurturer. I do it authentically. Like, he really is my client.
Yeah.
We do work with. So it's not like me paying the money to like get like fake photos done or like having a cardboard cutout of someone and me taking a picture of a cardboard cutout with them. Like, I do actually personally know him, and you just leverage other people's networks. So again, that's about, again, as a nurturer, if you build strong relationships, then that's where referrals come from, because you've built a relationship, and now I can leverage, for example, right now we're leveraging each other's networks.
That's right.
By using Facebook and doing Facebook Lives, and you tagging me and me tagging you. So we leverage, and we do it tastefully. We're not. So this isn't us tagging 500 people in my posts and me like spamming their timeline.
That's right.
This is me bringing on a guest so that we both share, and then this, like, my show becomes you're the center of attention on my show. And we're just sharing your knowledge to my listeners, and that's what you do with nurturers, because nurturers love to help, but generally they feel a lot of times they're used because people see them as nurturers, and then they like, so if you know a nurturer, like, invite them out for lunch, because they're usually the one that's buying lunch. So actually take them out for lunch and actually buy lunch for them, and then you have them like authentically. But now you've planted the seed and you've built in the relationship with them. Like, it's fantastic when you actually, again, doing it from just for the love of learning, of understanding people.
Yeah, I think I'm so fascinated with this. I think that it should be taught in schools, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's such an important skill.
Yeah, so the really cool thing is that the founder of the company, she did go to Harvard. So she actually did present to the business students at Harvard, and then she also was at Berkeley. And then for the knowledge people, there actually is a white paper. So for the knowledge people, the science people, they want to say, what's the science? So there is a white paper done by one of the universities in California that explains the science of, if I know that you're a nurturer, I know your buying patterns, and that's why it's important to understand. So like we said, Tony Robbins says, let your prospect determine your presentation.
That's true. Yes, I heard that. Yes.
Presentation for me to sell to you. And like, what does Juliette need and want? And how can I structure my presentation for Juliette? Not structure for what I think you need. It's what do you want?
Wow, that's interesting. And tell me, what about if, let's say, somebody is doing video marketing or Facebook marketing? Video is now such a huge tool. So would you say that it would be great? Let's say I have right now, I do have a special offer on my special price on my course, because I'm going on a honeymoon and I'm giving something back with reducing it half price. But would you say that for me to close more sales with that particular offer, I should do a few videos, and one should be for the action takers, one should be for the knowledge people, one should be for nurturers, and still talk about it but in a different way? Will it put off the types that it's not targeted for, or it just doesn't work like that?
So the best way to do it is when you become a master, you do one video, but you actually touch on all 4 archetypes.
Right. Okay. Well, that's like NLP.
So for example, as an action person, in the first like 5 to 10 seconds of the video, I make sure I capture the action person's attention. Otherwise, they're off to the next shiny object.
That's right. Okay. All right. So
Step 2 would then bring in the nurturer to then say, okay, this is what's in it for them. But here's how they can help. Say this is how they could help them or their community. Then I'm okay with the knowledge person, because the knowledge person is going to watch the whole thing, as long as I don't make it too flashy and I don't make it too pitchy. But they're going to hang around the longest because they're interested for all the details. And same with the blueprint person, if they're on, because there's still blueprint people that are on Facebook, and they're the ones that you have to give them enough of the detail, so it can't be too much flash. But you get the flash at the beginning for the action people to say, hey, this is a special offer, but then kind of not justify it, but explain why. To say, hey, I care about my community, and I'm getting, celebrate with me. I'm getting married, going on my honeymoon. So I just want to give back to my community. Say this isn't happening every day. Because what happens if I see another sale tomorrow, another sale the next week, and then another sale like another month, and I'm like, I'm waiting. I'm not buying from you ever until I see it on sale. So that's also from a marketing point of view. You have to be careful, because if everything's always on sale, then we're training our customers to no one's ever going to buy at full price. So you might as well just change your price and say, my mentor that we're working with here in a different program, it's a flat price. There's no discounts, there's no sales. She's like, if you want, so if it's a $997 or if it's a $97 sale, if you need to split it into 2 payments, you can pay me, and it doesn't go up. It's just, hey, just pay me in 2 installments, but this is my price because this is my value.
That's so right. Yeah.
It's a real challenge, because I know sometimes, and my personal opinion would be to bundle up as opposed to discount down.
Yes, and that's a great approach. And I know, I've started my digital marketing business 5 years ago, and I started completely on a wrong way. I was trying to bring my prices down, and I thought it's going to bring more clients in, if I'm affordable and so good at what I do. And I only ended up working with people who didn't appreciate me and paid me for money, and I like pennies, and I'd have to chase them for money. And so it just never worked. It never worked, because you need to know your value before before you think about the price.
Or to say, who's your ideal client? I did a podcast interview last week with another gentleman. It's not up yet, but it's my next episode coming up. And he had a fantastic analogy of what he did with one of his clients, going from like $80 an hour teaching Mandarin to a $30,000 package. Like, she now charges $30,000, and she was charging $80 an hour. And all because she doing the exact same thing, and just she actually valued and said, what is my superpower? What is my unique selling proposition? What differentiates me from the rest of the market? And she was doing more than it was Mandarin, but she was doing more than just teaching them Mandarin. She was giving them a whole success plan for moving to China as an executive.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So it's just adding a twist on what you're doing in the first place.
Right. Yeah. But that's not so much bank code, but that's still understanding bank code, because you could also use it to say, just because we want to increase our sales, but you could also say, listen, I just want to work with the people that I work with best. So I can actually figure, okay, this person, for example, I work probably better with with a higher nurturer. So people that value the relationships, build a relationship, but then I can actually sell them multiple things. So I can actually work with fewer clients, but what we say is I can actually have a bigger share of their wallet.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Because I'm going to offer them as a financial advisor, but I may get them started here to then get them as a piece of their financial advising. But then I'm going to get their mortgage, and then I'm going to get them life insurance, and then I'm going to get their investments. And it could be a 20-year process, and I want clients for 20 years, but I'm not going to get them on the street corner selling like cheap life insurance. I'm going to build a relationship with them, and I'm going to, as we say, put the picket fence around them, because eventually I want all of their business. And then what they do is because I've built a relationship, they're going to refer me to their friends, neighbors, and relatives.
That's true as well. Okay, well, I think that we've kind of sold the whole concept here. I think that it's fantastic, and it's really something, it sounds to me like something that you need to know if you're in business, and especially if you're working with clients face to face. So how do we proceed if we wanted to take a course and learn about the bank system and how much it costs? And, can you give me those details?
I can give you some of those details. So one of the steps that, so people want to reach out, and again, make comments here, because what we do have is there's the founder of the company actually runs like a 1-hour webinar, like at least once a week. It's the introduction. So it's it's a free webinar where people can actually come in and get kind of what we've talked about, but a little bit more meat to it, to understand that it's the science of selling, but also the science of buying. So how to sell, how to be better at selling, but also how to be better at buying, like why people buy. And she actually has her book out. So there actually is a book that people can go to Amazon and buy, which is called Why They Buy.
Perfect. So we can dig out the link for the webinar, and we will put it in the comments to this video or in the description of this video later on. And also Why They Buy is very easy to remember, amazon.co.uk. What is the name of the author again?
So her name is Cherry Tree. So it's Cheri, and then Tree. So her, she was born in the 70s. Her parents had a sense of humor. Like it's like Cherry Tree, but it's Cherry Tree. And it's and she's amazing. Like she's actually, and she's probably not for sure in 2018. I know that she's going to be actually doing training in the Netherlands, in a number of stops in Europe. So if people actually want to see her speak live, there's a number of speaking engagements where, again, people can go to our website and see where she's going to be speaking. The online training. So this is an example for kind of like it's not the platinum, but kind of our good baseline kind of all-in package. So it's about a $2,000. So about a $2,000 US pack price, which kind of gets you a good piece. Now the really cool thing is with that price, we actually there's a big event coming up in Las Vegas in January. So at a certain price, when people buy that package, they'll actually get a complimentary ticket to come to the live event in Las Vegas, and there's going to be probably at least 5 full days of live training in Las Vegas in January. So if someone's looking for, a study vacation, like a vacation, but make it a business and hit Las Vegas, that's coming up in January, where you actually, and she's bringing in a number of her friends, like Lisa Sasovich and a number of other gentlemen, like world level trainers who understand the science of bank code, but then also how to incorporate that into other ways of doing marketing.
That's perfect, and that's how it becomes such a bargain at $2,000. You can get all that. Brilliant. So we're going to make sure that these links are in the description. Dwayne, thank you so much for joining me. I really, really enjoyed this chat, and I think that we've just had so much information, amazing information and great ideas, especially if you are doing email marketing or kind of targeting your audience, how important it is to think about the different personality types and the different decisions behind their, buying decisions, different factors. So, thank you again.
I actually have one. So there's one last, because some people say that they could use the big number. There's a smaller number. So if people love it and just want to get started, there actually is an affiliate program. So the affiliate program is actually $199 a year. So if someone actually wants to just get engaged and start and use it in their business, but then because again, there's lots of people that just love the marketing aspect of it. There is a way to get started for as little as $200.
So basically, that would mean that, let's say if I wanted to pay $200, that I would have that link and somebody would analyze my leads. That's what you're saying.
Yep. And then you can actually work, and then you qualify for like a 25% commission. So if you put someone into the system and they go and buy, you get 25% commission just for being
oh, right, of course, yeah, for the course, of course, yeah, that's perfect. Well, that is all great to know, because guys, don't forget, with your affiliate marketing, you can make a lot of passive income, so it's not to be overlooked. And we were talking about it in our 5-day challenge, how this is one of the types of the videos that you should be making, and because there's always money there, you don't have to always create your own thing. So, but that's just a deviation. And Dwayne, thank you so much for joining me today. It was a brilliant show, and I just want to wish everybody a great evening, and I will see them all probably tomorrow night or Thursday night. Anyway, just watch, keep an eye out. I'm flexible with these easy chats for the moment. After my honeymoon, when the honeymoon is over, there's going to be hard work, and there's going to be a tighter schedule, and everything will go back on track. I'm really gearing towards 2018, and I'm going to introduce a lot of things. And when I'm saying I'm an action person, so when I'm saying I'm going to introduce, they're definitely going to be introduced. That's not procrastination. Okay, guys, thanks a million for watching us, and we will chat to you later on in the week. Bye, Dwayne.